Okay, we are going to do a few more steps to help clean up our feet. So we've got a few issues. We can see a few bumps at the end here. We can see that it feels a little bit rickety. We haven't played with our y-axis, and we can see that we've got some issues here as well. Um, let's jump into some of these things. So I'm going to start on frame 0, and we'll start out simple. So um, we can see that the toe is up right here and the foot is on the ground, and if we step through this animation, we can see that it takes a long time for that foot to come down. We need that to start coming down right away. So we're actually going to start animating this control right here, which is the foot roll control. And I'm going to go to frame 1, and I'm going to set a key like that. And I'm actually going to get rid of all rotations. So we want our foot over one frame to just snap down. We want it to feel like it goes boom, like that. And if we play that, we can see that makes a much bigger difference. Now, what we are also going to do is we are now going to introduce some toe roll here. So I am going to set a key on frame 1, and then I'm also going to set a frame on key 2. Now I'm not changing anything, I'm just setting these keys. And I'm going to go back to frame 1. I'm going to rotate my toe up like this. Now, if we look at this, what we want to see is we want to see this bend right here, and then the toe go down, as if the toe is dragging like this. So this is important. This is something that students often overlook and don't do. They always have the foot slowly come down, which really removes the weight. So you want to get something like that. There we go. Cool. So we've got that. Now let's go ahead and step through this more. So while it's on the ground, this is all good. This is all good. We're going to focus on this control right now. And we're going to see that it's starting to come up here. That's about right. It feels like it flatlines. Let's take a look at the graph editor and see what's going on here. Oh yeah, we're working with rotations. So it looks like we're mostly going to be dealing with X rotation. I'm going to hit normalize. That'll quickly bring it down. If ever your curves look flat or you can't see them, either select the keys and hit F or hit normalize, and that helps quite a bit. Cool. So let's see what we've got here. It's going up. That's good. And then here is where it leaves the ground, and then it starts to go back. Cool. That feels generally right. Let's now focus on this up. So if we pay attention to the heel right here, we can see that it goes up, and then it goes up quite a bit. Like it goes up from here to here, and then the very next frame it stops. That's part of what we're seeing, why that foot feels like it goes whoop, and it hitches. And so we're going to adjust that by doing probably a few things. We're going to select the foot, and let's go ahead and select, I think is it Z? Oh yeah, it's Y, and it's up and down as Y. And so this is what we're really seeing. So from 12 to 15, we can see that foot goes up, and then it hits this hard wall and stops. We actually want to adjust that a little bit. So I'm actually going to grab key 15, and I'm going to lower this just slightly like this. Then I'm going to grab this curve. We could do this a few different ways. We could set a key, or we could grab this curve. I'm going to go ahead and grab this curve and adjust it something like that. Then I'm going to grab this curve as well, and I'm going to move it like that, and I'm going to move this one down like that. What I want is that heel to still keep going up. See how that heel now is still going up, and now it feels like it's on an arc? That's what we want. So now if we play this, we can see that it doesn't hit nearly as hard, and we can adjust this to taste. Yay! We have something that looks pretty good now. And our foot is going and going. Cool. And let's take a look at we won't get into that. That's a little. Let's take a look at the foot from the front now. So I feel like the side is generally looking pretty good now. Um, by default, feet are usually rigged straight forward. That's for rigging. And so oftentimes you'll see animators that they won't end up changing that, and the feet will always be facing forward. I encourage you to point the toes out a little bit. And typically with most people's walk, whether it's a male or like feminine walk, the toes are slightly out. So we actually need to rotate our foot like this. So we're going to select this. We're going to go to Rot Y, which is this one right here. I'm going to select all of these like this. And it looks like we actually already have some rotation going. That's interesting. Like at this point, we actually don't need any rotation in this. So let's go ahead. If for some reason rotation was applied to some of these, we can see that it's a very small amount, like a fraction. But just for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all that. Now I'm going to go to where my foot is on the ground, say frame 3, and I'm going to grab all the keys like this, and I'm going to move them, looks like up. Let's go ahead and let's go like this, and I'm going to hold down Y when I do this. I'm actually going to normalize this, and let's see if this will make it a little bit easier. There we go. So when I hold down, when I made normalize, it made it move a little bit more. Now my foot, and I moved the whole animation. What's important here is you don't want to just move one pose, you want to move your whole animation. So now my whole animation, the foot is facing outward. That might be a little much, so I'm gonna pull back on just on that. I'm gonna do something like that. Great. That looks good. Let's go ahead now and do a few more things. So typically, let's take a look at this rig. I'm actually going to move her foot inward just slightly. Now, every character is going to be slightly different, but I'm actually going to move her foot, even though it's pretty close inward. I'm going to move it in just slightly. It also looks like there's some very small values been applied to this. I would zero those out, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and just move this inward just a bit. Let's see. It can be, this can be a little bit tricky when you start. Hi, man, this is really tricky. Let's, I'm going to scale the values manually. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Great. Now I've moved that foot inward, and it's facing slightly outward. So looks good. Let's do one other thing. Right now the foot is on the ground, and it's moving on a track forward like this, meaning it's very robotic. Typically, there's a few different approaches to walks, but typically what the simplest way that we teach is that the foot goes outward when it's up in the air. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this foot leaves the ground on frame 12 like this. So we are going to lift that foot up on frame 15, and we are going to actually just move that over like this. Then we're going to go to 18, and we're going to move it over a little bit more than what we did on 15 like this. And then on 21 we're going to move it over just a little bit. We're just creating a slight arc. Now if we go ahead and look now in our graph editor, I did a pretty good job. Like that's basically what we're looking for. Let's see what it looks like. Something like that. That's a pretty decent first step for our our foot. Let's go ahead now. Once you've got that, we're going to add some rotation. So typically, when your foot leaves the ground, your toe is going to face where it used to be. So right now, our foot, the toe is facing out to the left. We want it to face where it was on frame 12. So what that means is we're going to grab the rotation. I'm actually going to make this into local mode. And then I'm going to rotate this toe like this inward. So towards the body like that. So now when it comes off the ground, that toe faces inward. That's typically what we want, something like that. I'm going to rotate this inward just a little bit, not as much as I did on 15. And I'm on 21, I'm going to rotate it actually the other way. I'm going to rotate it out. So you want your foot to feel like it goes something like that. Like your toe faces inward and then it goes out and around like that. Great. That looks pretty good for a first pass. Let's look at it from the side. Great. And that is our foot. So now all we have to do is the other foot. So go ahead, do the other foot, and then in the next lecture we will jump to the hips. Okay, I'll see ya.